What's up, everybody? Jimmy Jackson from Grand Rapids, Michigan, a realtor, Kevin Williams, Grand Rapids North, making a quick video on what makes a good investment property location. So, screen I have up really quick. I just have this up because I wanted to show where homes sell the most. I just wanted to start with the location just from the excuse me, from the U.S. Bureau of Census. So this right here, new home sales data is published monthly by the U.S. Bureau of Census. The unit displayed are in the thousands as is seasonally adjusted. Um, and is the seasonally adjusted annual rates. I'm not going to be doing a property outside of Michigan as an example, but I just wanted to pull this up, just to show people if you want to find a rental property or an Airbnb or something like that, if you look here throughout the entire process that home sales have been getting tracked, the South has been booming more than ever. If you go back to August 1st, or let's go back to May 1st, 73, the South sold 261,000 properties. The West sold 183 properties. And I'm looking at the bottom where it says Northeast, Midwest, South, and West. And Northeast, 90,000. Midwest, 126,000. And if you fast forward to, let's go to May 1st, 2025. Northeast, only 70 or 37,000. Midwest, 78. South, 349,000. In the West, 159,000. So the South is selling the most homes like crazy, and that is um as of that's in May. So let's see. I want to scroll down a little bit. Yeah. The West, if you look, the West is losing homes. And the South is, look at the South. Look at that, 36.6% gain. Midwest 4%, Northeast 19.23%. Man, it's California. I'm not gonna get into politics, but the West is destroying themselves right now. Let's put it like that. So yeah, anyways, if you want to pause this, you can definitely check this out. It's not really that hard to understand. So new homes versus existing home sales, et cetera, et cetera. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to jump over to an example of a property and see why it would be a good fit for if someone wanted to pick that property as a rental, and if it'd be a good location or not. So let's jump over here. This is 1317 John Street, Kalamazoo. If we look through this property, I just picked this one at random. Kind of not the best example. It's already renovated. So I'm really not going to go through everything because this one is already renovated. But let's just pretend, you were coming through and you wanted to just purchase the property and you wanted to know if it was in a good location. We're not talking about the numbers like, how much am I going to buy it for? How much am I going to, fix it up and flip it and all that stuff. We're just saying if you're going to buy it and if you're going to rent it out, what are the things that you want to look for? So I got this PDF pulled up as well. Let me zoom in. See what this looks like. Let's look at the location factors. Neighborhood zoning. It is zoned RM15, multifamily, schools nearby, Washington Writers Academy, Maple Street Magnet, uh, Loy Norix High School. So, you can look up those schools and see what they're graded as. All schools, you can just look online and see what the schools are graded as. Um, the rent demand for his estimate, 1647. Crime and safety, the score is 7 out of 10 per listing. That's not bad. Amenities, let's see, you'll be close to shopping, restaurant, highway, and Kalamazoo Transportation Center, future development. Check for new city projects or infrastructure, something that you would want to look up for yourself. Don't forget about the deal analysis, the 1% rule. If you get a price for 200,000, you need to at least be making 1% of that, or you don't even want to purchase the property. So this whole 1,674 for this estimate. So that wouldn't be enough if you wanted to rent it out. This property would be a property for somebody who's like a first-time home buyer. If this property wasn't already renovated and you could get it for 167,000, that 1% would be right at 106. I'm sorry, 1674. That would hit the 1%. Don't forget about the 50% expense rule when you're generating your numbers. Don't forget to go over, the cost of rent. You divide the cost of rent by 50%, count that as expenses. Then you subtract your mortgage, you subtract your cash flow. And with this property, with it only being $1,600 minus your mortgage, and your expenses together, which your expenses and your mortgage, you'd actually be in the negative. So, and look at your cap rate, your net operating income, your NOI. It'd be, let's see, 2,200 minus 1,100 times 12, 13,000, 6.6% cap rate, your cash on cash return, down payment plus closing cost. If you put down 40,000 on this property, actually, this is a different deal. So this cap rate is if you rented it for 2,200, sorry, instead of the 1,600. These are the numbers that you'd get. You would actually be doing it. So anyways, I'm going to end this video. I just wanted to make it short. I wanted to show you things like you want to pay attention to the neighborhood. You want to pay attention to nearby schools. You want to pay attention to the rental demand in the area, crime and safety, future development. Is the city on the come up? The 1% rule, the 50% expense rule, the cap rates, your cash on cash returns. If you pause and you watch this, these are for if. You see, it says if 2,200 was the rent, if 2,200 was the rent. So that's just saying, obviously if you charge more. So, but yeah, that is just a quick layout of what makes a good investment property location. So thank you for watching the video. Have an amazing day.